The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning. A massive no-bid contract award, hundreds of contracts awarded without competitive bidding. A Haitian man sentenced for a fake voter's card. And the final push for voter registration. Today is the final day. Plus, we are talking with Parliamentary Commissioner Harrison Thompson live. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Wednesday, April 8th, 2026. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Chester Robards will be here. Also this morning, we are talking with F&M candidate for Centerville, Darvin Russell. It's all ahead, but first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, the Davis administration awarding hundreds of millions of dollars in no-bid contracts this term for a wide variety of goods, works, and services. That's according to an examination of the procurement reports on the government's procurement website. Acting Chief Procurement Officer Carl Oliver acknowledging Thursday that direct awards were the preferred form of contract awards and insisted everything was done legally. Hundreds of contracts were awarded without any competitive bidding. The high-value no-bid contracts included contracts for road projects, repair and renovations to the National Sports Stadium, the Family Courts Complex on Bernard Road in Providence, post office security services, and software for the Ministry of Finance, among others. Other no-bid contracts included contracts for the sidewalk installation and speed bump painting, consulting services and public relations services, Christmas decorations, and direct awards to vendors for Ministry of Works holiday parties. The reporting does not include any listed contracts for the Ministry of Tourism or the Tourism Development Corporation, which undertook millions of dollars in procurement. It also does not include contracts for state-owned enterprises, under which the Public Procurement Act are required to list contracts over $25,000 on their official websites. The Nassau Guardian reported on the largest no-bid contract, a $183 million contract awarded to an affiliate of Bahamas Striping Group of companies. This was last April. Amid massive controversy, the government announced the contract was paused as it had been included on the procurement list due to an administrative error. The online reports also show the award of a $180 million contract to Caribbean Pavement Solutions Limited, also part of Bahamas Striping Group of companies, for the Eleuthera Road Improvement Project in November 2024. There's a whole lot more on this in today's Nassau Guardian. A 45-year-old Haitian man who used a forged voter's card to apply for an NIB card was sentenced to 1 year and 4 months in prison. Tyrone Vernet will be deported to Haiti once he's served his sentence. Vernet, who has been in custody since his arrest in August 2025, changed his plea to guilty on charges of possession of forged documents and uttering forged documents when he appeared before senior magistrate Anishka Isaacs for trial. Vernay, who was born in Haiti and deported from the United States to Haiti in 2016, was arrested at the Department of Immigration when he presented bogus IDs while checking on the status of his compatriots who were in custody. An auditor of the National Insurance Board found that Vernay had used the suspicious voter's card that had him registered in the Golden Gates constituency to support his application for an NIB Smart Card. Inquiries at the Parliamentary Registration Department revealed that they had not issued the card. Hours before Parliament is set to be dissolved, scores of residents crowded the Parliamentary Registration Department to register to vote. Prime Minister Philip Davis announced the dissolution last week and called for the 2026 general election to be held May 12th. Last week, residents complained of long lines at registration sites, but yesterday, residents say the process was smooth and quick. Citing surging fuel prices as a result of conflicts in the Middle East, the Bahamas Unified Bus Drivers Union says that it's seeking an increase in bus fares or, quote, some sort of relief. The union saying in a statement that due to the spike in prices for crude oil per barrel, local fuel retailers have raised prices at the pumps by 20%, and that local bus parts retailers also have hiked up fees on their parts. The statement says, quote, we as operators or owners cannot sustain operating buses daily because of the high cost of fuel. We as the Bahamas Unified Bus Drivers Union will have to ask the government for an increase in bus fare or some sort of relief. The U.S. and Israel's war with Iran has had wide-reaching impacts across the globe, the most notable of which so far has been an increase in fuel prices, which many worry could lead to a global recession. Hitting back at criticism over its proposed child support initiative, the FNM citing similar social support programs in other countries, maintaining that the approach is evidence-based. The plan would provide $200 per month to the primary caregivers of children under 2 years old, with a qualifier to exclude high-income families and high-net-worth individuals. The FNM has estimated the program would cost between $12 and $14 million annually. The party saying in a statement that, quote, far from being a reckless handout, this initiative is grounded in a growing body of international evidence that shows direct cash transfers to service providers to support families are among the most effective tools for reducing poverty, improving child outcomes, and supporting labor force participation. The party says that their proposal is not a blank check, but it is a targeted, time-bound investment in the earliest and most critical years of a child's life. Two young parents are facing criminal charges stemming from alleged physical abuse of their dead son. 24-year-old Darrenique Johnson and 28-year-old Akeem Turnquest denied allegations that they caused grievous harm to Kyrie Turnquest before his death on February 16th. They're accused of inflicting severe injuries on the child between July 2025 and December 2025 and January 2026 and February. The prosecutors not objecting to bail. Bail was set at $7,000 on the condition that they wear ankle bracelets and sign in monthly at the East Street South Police Station. Their trial is set for May 27th. And the Shirley Street Post Office has been renamed in honor of John Saunders, who was the longest-serving Postmaster General. During a soft opening ceremony yesterday, Prime Minister Davis defended the relevance of the post office, hitting out at opposition leader Michael Pintard's recent comments on eliminating the need to use the post office for banking services, citing the vital role the post office plays in the country. Saunders, who oversaw the opening of several post offices throughout the country and the creation of Express Mail, gave 40 years of service in the role. Well, at least to the post office department. Overseas, Iran, the United States, and Israel agreeing to a 2-week ceasefire, an 11th-hour deal that allowed U.S. President Donald Trump to pull back from his threats to unleash a bombing campaign that would destroy Iranian civilization. But attacks in Iran and Gulf Arab states resumed today, throwing the deal into question. Even before the new strikes were reported, much about that deal was unclear as the sides presented vastly different versions and visions of the terms. Iran said the deal would allow it to formalize its new practice of charging ships passing through the Strait of Hormuz, but the terms were not clear, nor was whether ships would be would feel safe using the crucial transit lane for oil. It also was unclear whether any other country agreed to this condition. Pakistan, which helped to mediate the deal, and others said that fighting would pause in Lebanon, where Israel has launched a ground invasion against the Iran-backed Hezbollah militant group. But Israel said it would not. The fate of Iran's missile and nuclear programs, the elimination of which were major objectives for the U.S. and Israel going into the war, also remain unclear. As U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance called the agreement a fragile truce, the United Arab Emirates reported an incoming Iranian missile barrage, and Kuwait's military said it was responding to drones. Iran then said an oil refinery came under attack. In the streets of Tehran, pro-government demonstrators screamed, quote, "Death to America, death to Israel, death to compromisers," after the ceasefire announcement, and they burned American and Israeli flags. The chants underscored the anger animating hardliners who have been preparing for what many assumed would be an apocalyptic battle with the United States. Trump warned Tuesday that a whole civilization would die if the deal wasn't reached. North Korea firing multiple short-range ballistic missiles towards the sea Wednesday in its second launch event in 2 days. South Korea's military confirming this hours after a senior North Korean official released crude insults against Seoul's hopes for warmer relations. South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff said several missiles lifted off from North Korea's eastern coastal Wonsan area early this morning and flew about 240 kilometers or 150 miles each in a direction towards the northeastern waters. It said an additional North Korean ballistic missile fired later today traveled more than 435 miles off the northeast coast. South Korea's military said it maintains a readiness to repel any provocations by North Korea under a solid military alliance with the United States. It said earlier that it detected the launch of an unidentified projectile from North Korea's capital region Tuesday. South Korean media reported the projectile, also likely a ballistic missile, disappeared from South Korean military radars after displaying an abnormal development in its initial launch stage. This indicated the launch ended in failure, according to reports. And hundreds of Cuban women gathered Tuesday in Havana to decry a U.S. energy embargo and other measures imposed by U.S. President Donald Trump that are strangling the Caribbean island. The rally was organized by the Federation of Cuban Women, a massive organization with close ties to the government and the Communist Party. It was meant to honor the late Vilma Espin, the Federation's founder, a guerrilla fighter, and Raul Castro's wife. The crowd that gathered at a park commemorating a 19th century independence patriot waved Cuban flags, held signs that read, quote, "Down with the blockade," and clutched pictures of Fidel Castro and Espin. Deputy Prime Minister Inez Maria Chapman and Deputy Foreign Minister Jose led the demonstration along with Mariela Castro, daughter of Espin and former President Raul Castro. And Congo will receive some migrants as part of a new deal under the Trump administration's third country program. The government confirming this, the latest such African nation to receive migrants deported from the U.S. The deportees will start arriving in Congo this month, according to the Congolese Ministry of Communications. No further details on the date or the number of deportees. Described the arrangement as a temporary one that reflects Congo's, quote, commitment to human dignity and national solidarity. It would come with zero cost to the government, with the U.S. covering the needed logistics. The U.S. has struck such third country deportation deals with at least 7 other African nations, many of them among countries hit the most by the Trump administration's policies that have restricted trade, aid, and migration. The Trump administration has spent at least $40 million to deport about 300 migrants to countries other than their own, according to a report released recently by the Democratic staff of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee.
This is Sports Update.
In sports, 8 straight. It certainly didn't come easy this time, but the 8-peat is now a reality as the Bahamas swim team topped the standings with a preliminary total of 795 points to win the 8th consecutive Carifta swimming title in Fort-de-France, Martinique. Team Bahamas held just a single point advantage after opening day, but that margin ballooned to 55.5 points by the end of day 3, and the defending champions never let up. While the Bahamas took the top spot for the 8th straight season, Jamaica remained in second position, finishing with 754.50 points. Finishing third, Trinidad and Tobago with 747 points. Team Bahamas' head coach Trevano McPhee says he knew the team had to work for an 8th consecutive swimming championship, but says it feels good to remain on top again. You can read more about that, and congratulations to Team Bahamas in today's Guardian Sports section. And Bahamian Olympic hero Shawnee Miller-Weibo and Stephen Gardner, both slowly but surely working their way back to top form on the track. A couple of down seasons. Legendary Bahamian duo competing at the 2026 Pepsi Florida Relays in Gainesville over the Easter holiday weekend. Miller-Weibo running a swift time of 22.44 seconds in the women's Olympic development 200-meter final. Her run not only placed her in a top position for a gold medal finish, but it was also her fastest time recorded in the event since 2022. The two-time Olympian has not run in that time range since clocking 22.32 seconds at the 2022 B3A's Track and Field Open National Championship. You can read more about how she is feeling about it in today's Guardian Sports section. Stephen Gardner taking bronze in his event. Again, more on that in today's Guardian Sports section. And the Bahamas Esports Federation announcing that Derek DeWong Wong Jr. and Eric Imendej Bain III are set to participate in the esports qualification process for the CAC Games. That's set for July 24th through August 8th. Dominican Republic. The qualification process will determine which athletes earn the opportunity to represent their respective countries at the final competition in the DR. The qualifiers will consist of 2 virtual tournaments per discipline, with each national team competing to accumulate points based on placement in each event. The scheduled qualifier dates for Street Fighter VI are Tuesday, April 7th and Tuesday, April 28th. The scheduled qualifiers for eFootball are Sunday, April 12th and Sunday, May 10th. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. Your first look at weather brought to you by Star General. So we've got a severe weather watch in effect for the northern Bahamas. That includes Grand Bahama, Abaco, and Bimini, as well now as portions of the northwest Bahamas, Berry Islands, northern Andros, and New Providence and northern Eleuthera. We've also got a gale warning in effect for the northern Bahamas. Occasional gusts to gale force possible across the northern islands beginning 12 p.m. today to about 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Boaters, especially small craft operators, are urged to seek safe harbor and remain in port in the areas of the Gulf Stream and Atlantic waters. So here's what's happening. We've got a moist, unstable air mass supporting a meandering frontal boundary with an area of low pressure drifting northeastwards across the northern and northwest Bahamas, along with a prefrontal trough that's sitting in an area between the central and southeast Bahamas. So unsettled weather happening near the front and the trough, while the front drags near gale force winds and rough seas behind it. So there's a marginal to moderate risk of flooding in low-lying, flood-prone areas and urban areas across the northern and portions of the northwest Bahamas today due to heavy and prolonged rainfall events. Everyone's urged to exercise caution while in areas that are known to flood and in areas already inundated with water from previous rainfall. And there's a high risk of rip currents for all Atlantic coastal areas. Swimmers are advised to refrain from entering these waters and to exercise extreme caution, especially in Eleuthera near the Glass Window Bridge. So your forecast for today, again, severe weather expected for the extreme northern islands, cloudy to overcast through tonight, a 40 to 70% chance of scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Winds northeast at 10 to 15 knots this morning, increasing to 15 to 20 knots by this afternoon, and 25 to 30 knots with gusts to gale force by tonight. The rest of the northwest Bahamas, including New Providence, looking at a pop shine this morning, but increasingly cloudy by this afternoon, with a 30 to 50% chance of widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Winds north to northeast at 10 knots or less, falling light and variable at times. The Central Islands looking at partly cloudy to cloudy conditions today through tonight, and a mix of sun and clouds turning fair tonight for the southeastern islands. You've got a 30 to 50% chance of widely scattered showers for the Central Islands, isolated thunderstorms as well, 20 to 30% chance of isolated showers with thunderstorms near that trough we told you about, or a 10% chance of showers elsewhere for the southeastern Bahamas. Wind south to southwest at 10 knots or less, falling light and variable at times for the Central Islands, and southerly at 10 knots or less, falling light and variable at times for the rest of the southeastern islands. Temperatures today, most of the country looking at highs around 84, 85 Fahrenheit, 29 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 72 Fahrenheit, 22, 23 Celsius. But the extreme northern islands with all the rain and cloud cover looking at highs sticking into the 70s, around 25, 26 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight in the upper 60s, low 70s, about 21, 22 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have more in your extended outlook coming up in just a bit. This weather check brought to you by Star General Insurance, made simple.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way.
It is time for a break, but when we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9, your home for fresh news and smart talk all day.
Wake up, it's a new day.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Looking to elevate your gadget game, or are tech troubles simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows, or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Cades Village, or call 396-1100.
It's back. Agri-Expo 2026, presented by the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources, April 10th through 12th at the Gladstone Road Agriculture Center. Agriculture, our heritage, our future, comes alive with the latest farming technologies, exciting cooking demonstrations and competitions, Bahamian farmers and vendors from across the islands, fun for the kids at the kitty corner, nightly musical concerts, and free admission for everyone. Bring the whole family and celebrate what feeds our nation. Agri-Expo 2026. Let's get growing.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Looking to upgrade your car? At Nassau Motor Company, a brand new Honda is waiting for you. Discover the highly acclaimed Honda CR-V, combining style and performance. Need space and flexibility? The Honda BR-V is just perfect for you. Go with the sporty and sexy Honda HR-V. Come, check out our Honda showroom and let your dreams go with you. All the new Hondas are backed with a 3-year, 60,000-mile factory warranty. Available at Nassau Motor Company on Shirley Street, where standards are higher.
If you think you can't afford to dress to impress or replace those utensils or maybe even upgrade your household appliances, then you don't know Y-Care's Fashion Center. With 3 locations to serve you, Y-Care's Fashion Center features the things you need or want, all at a price that you can afford. Open Monday through Saturday, 8:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. Y-Care's Fashion Center also has the island's largest jean collection. Put the fun back in shopping and visit your favorite Y-Care's location today, where you can afford to look good.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs and budget. For affordable rates with free on-site accident assistance, visit us online or in branch with us. NUA Insurance. Ask us, because we've got you covered.
Every day in a busy world, we have to do so much. Bank with CIBC and get that personal touch. Share your ambitions, let us help your dreams come true. At CIBC, you're at the heart of all we do. We're on your side, we're listening, we know the way you feel. CIBC, ambitions made real.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-4796. Text rate supply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Chester Robards will be joining us. Also this morning, on this final day for you to register to vote, Parliamentary Registration Department Commissioner Harrison Thompson will be, as it's just hours left to go, to give us an update on where things stand at this point. That's coming up in our 8 o'clock hour. Then in our 9 o'clock hour, we're going to be talking with F&M candidate Darvin Russell, who's running for Centerville. That's all ahead on this busy Wednesday morning. But there is a lot to talk about right now in the news. And Chester Robards joining us now. Good morning, Chester Robards. Good to have you with us.
Good to be here.
Okay, wonderful. Quite a bit to talk about in the news. We've got the Nassau Guardian, the big headline, the Nassau Guardian, massive no-bid contract awards. Hundreds of contracts awarded without competitive bidding. This is a detailed look at what we know in today's Nassau Guardian. Our Candia Dame's writing about that. You definitely need to pick this up and read this. Again, there are rules. Some things you don't need to bid on, right? There can be no bid contracts, but it depends on the value.
Correct.
But that doesn't mean that there aren't concerns. And there's some that that don't fit into that category.
Right.
So quite a bit to look at. And again, this is worth reading in today's Nassau Guardian exclusively. All right, so other stories. Haitian man sentenced for fake voter's card. Artisa Davis writing about this. This is a wild story, and it's a little bit different from some of the other concerns that the office has, right? So this is like fraudulent documents, not fraudulently obtaining real documents. Yeah. All right. So, again, a 45-year-old Haitian man who used a forged voter's card to apply for an NIB card was sentenced to 1 year and 4 months in prison yesterday. Tyrone Vernet, I think that is, will be deported to Haiti once he's served his sentence. Vernet, who has been in custody since his arrest in August 2025, changed his plea to guilty on charges of possession of forged documents and uttering forged documents when he appeared before senior magistrate Anishka Isaacs for trial. So Vernet, who was born in Haiti and deported from the United States to Haiti in 2016, was arrested at the immigration department when he presented bogus IDs when checking on the status of his compatriots who were in custody. An auditor at the National Insurance Board found that Vernet had used a voter's card that had him registered in the Golden Gates constituency to support his application for an NIB smart card. Inquiries at the Parliamentary Registration Department revealed that they had not issued the card. I think this is one of the concerns. This is one of the reasons why the government's been pushing
to get rid of
yes, because those
paper laminated.
Anybody could make one of those. It's ridiculous.
With the ruler writing.
And the photos stuck on with glue, or is it tape?
I don't know.
It's insane. I'm shocked we don't have more cases like this.
You might be surprised. People already got their NAB card.
But I mean, who might be trying to vote with those cards?
That's true.
I mean, I don't think they'll have much luck, but there'll be people trying.
Maybe.
And this is why the push to the smarter biometric card. But for some reason, everybody's freaking out about that, even though all your information is already on your passport, and that's where they're getting it from.
You give up them biometrics long time.
I just don't understand it. But it's political mischief, I suspect. There's certain people making noise about it, and other people not. I just want to know when I'm going to get my biometric card, but I'll ask Harrison Thompson when he comes in this morning about that. Yeah. Did you apply for yours?
For my what?
Biometric card.
No.
Oh. Why not?
I didn't.
Okay. Interesting. It's fine. You can use your purple jokey photos card this time, the final time.
Yes.
I said it last election. This is the last time I'm using this to vote. I've had to use it for many things since then, but I'm not voting with this card. I do it. Not that twice already. No way.
So did you get it?
I've verified. I'm waiting for it.
Oh, okay.
But I don't have it yet. But yeah, if I don't have it, May 12th. All right. So, they're the final push for voter registration. This is it. This is it today. As the House is expected to be dissolved in just a matter of hours, 9:30 this morning, 2 hours from now. And here we go. The rally's already scheduled. We're seeing that. Some start in just days. And documents are being told they'll be released soon.
Yeah. The rush to put up the billboards is still going on.
Yeah.
And take down.
Yes. Documents that often are a waste of paper because half the things that are printed in them never happen. Is it less than half? What are you looking at me like that for?
What documents?
Like the blueprints and manifestos.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I mean, what you just writing words for fun. Sounds good. Yeah. And then you never get around to it. Oh, we didn't have time, but you call the election early. Yeah, but hey, here we go. This is the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it all, where we are, and the next month. The next month. What will this month be like? 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free. 242-300-5720. I want to ask people.
What will after the month be like?
Oh, my God. Yeah. And that's going to be interesting, right? Because it could go in 2 or 3 very different directions if it's, But we won't be the same.
No.
No matter what, we won't be the same. But I want to ask people this. How should we react? What should be the consequences for people who promise you things? Write it down. Say, this is what we believe in. And when they get in, they're like, nah, we don't think that's going to work. Nah, not now. The country's not ready for that. No, that's just words. Think about that. That doesn't even make sense. But you said you were going to do it. What should we make of that? Should there be consequences for you essentially lying to us? It's fraud, right? It's you presented yourself in a certain way and then you get in there and say, nah.
I mean, fraud.
Yeah.
You can always change your mind.
Huh?
That's a thing.
What now?
I'm just saying that fraud is a strong word.
Do you remember, what was her name? Renee Zellweger, when she married that country artist. And she said it was fraud.
What was
that was the reason why for the divorce.
Fraud?
Fraud. I don't know what that means.
Oh.
People have speculated. But I feel like this is how it is with these political parties. They say, this is what we're going to do. This government is going to do this. We would do this. We believe this. And then they get in there and like, nah. It's not fraud. You just say, oh, well, you just hard. And that's just how it is.
Not fraud, but this is why we have elections.
Huh? See, this is the problem because you all are very casual about this. They are lying. And when they get in there, they don't believe that at all. And everyone's like, oh, well, I'll just vote them out next time.
I don't know if it's fraud. But it is lying.
That's
So
fraud.
that's bad enough. No, fraud
You
is...
wrote it down. You presented it.
Fraud is really like deception.
No!
Of the
That
highest
sounds
level.
exactly what it is. So yes, that's exactly what it is.
Wow. If you think that's what it is.
Let's look at the definition of fraud.
You see somebody's face?
Several people. Several people. Deceit, trickery, an act, expression, omission, or concealment calculated to induce another to part with something of value or to surrender a legal right.
Yeah. Maybe you're right.
An act of deceiving or misrepresenting. A trick. A person who's not who they pretend to be, an imposter. One that is not what it seems or is represented to be.
And what do we end up parting with? Our vote?
Our vote, our pride, our sense of place.
Could be fraud.
Oh, any doubt. I mean, you don't even believe it. You don't even believe it. How many of them have proven that they don't believe in freedom of information?
Yeah.
How many of them? Everybody says local government for new profiters.
That's true. But again, if you end up nowadays, and maybe this era is changing. I had this conversation with somebody recently. Almost everything you say and do is recorded. And we could go and find it and play your own voice back for you.
Yeah.
And I mean, we should do that more often, but I'm just saying, I think as we come into a new, whatever we're going to come into in a month, we should do that. I mean, we should find these things and say, this is what you said.
Yeah.
Especially when you get to interview them.
Well,
get
it
them
happens
on a show or something.
and there's always an excuse that
we know
this was the priority. The people were gas prices were killing the people. Oh my goodness, the cost of living was that was much more important than local government for New Providence. Much more important than freedom of information.
Well,
people can't eat. You can't eat freedom of information.
We're gonna have to ask them to come this time around.
Oh, okay. Or what? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Well, there's gonna be a lot of what you're gonna do if the incumbents,
Please.
if the incumbents get back.
We've been tricking y'all for 40 years. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? vote us out, and then we'll be back. We'll be back in 5 years. What you gonna do?
But okay, again, this whole situation with taking VAT off food, right?
Oh, that happened? Oh, yes, I forgot.
Wow. Of uncooked food.
Right.
That.
Do you feel anything?
I haven't been to the food store since, which is amazing. It means, anyway.
8 days. Wow.
Yeah. You gonna feel it? So like it.
I mean, I've been.
Was it
Did I feel
really? Did you feel it? After a month, if whatever negotiations were had with the food stores about them eating the VAT that they used to be able to,
We still don't know what
reclaim,
happened with that.
they're not going to be able to reclaim it.
It never got zero rated.
No, it never.
Okay. So there's still a
either,
talk. So what
either
is it?
we're still going to pay it in price increases,
It's probably already happening.
or it probably is, or if they come back in power, they're going to change it back and be like, "Look at the war,
Right.
look at what's happening.
So what's gonna happen?
We got to go back."
VAT will go back up.
Yes.
But certain things won't be VAT.
Correct.
Right.
And they're going to say we had to
Seesaw.
do it.
See, primary school, schoolyard games.
That's my guess.
Back and forth.
That makes the most sense because the food stores and thing ain't continue to eat that.
Wow, makes your head spin. Let's hear from you. What do you make of it? What
It's
should
seesaw.
happen to people who will tell you they're going to do this, but when they get in, completely forget that they said it?
What could you do? What can you
There
do?
are things you could do, but are you prepared to do it? Caller, what say you? Good morning.
Good morning to both of you.
Hi.
Morning.
Well, you know, in some countries, they actually take persons to court and let the court decide whether they are fraudsters, criminals, or what. Because if you put something in writing, I mean, that could be it. But if you put something in writing and you actually release this document to the public, this is what we are planning to do for you,
That's
step
right.
by step.
Yep.
And you don't do it.
Not one thing.
Not one thing. But that tells me that's a criminal mind at work here. All right? And what we have been doing over the years, we've just been electing criminal-minded individuals who clearly are so comfortable doing it now, they don't even see the criminality in it. And this poses a major problem going forward. We have all these voter issues, contracts, waiting until the end of my term to issue one hell of a lot of contracts, and there should be something against volume instead of the amount. Meaning, if I'm going to issue 1 billion contracts and chop it up into 1 billion pieces, something is wrong with that, particularly at the end of my close to the election. So we've been electing fraudsters, man, and we're happy with it. So let the show go on, eh?
Well, that's one option. I mean, I think there are others, but I hear you. I hear
Take
you.
them to court, man.
Yeah.
But then who do that?
Right. Who's the
Stay in this
intrepid
country
lawyer?
Or still be a PLP. If you take a PLP to court, do you know your house may get burned down? Come on, man.
No, that's no. But maybe figuratively.
Who's the intrepid lawyer that'll take that on?
But what can we do? There's nothing we can do.
Like what?
I could tell you off air, but I mean, really? Let's see what this caller has to say. And continue to call in 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Hello?
Hi, good morning. Turn down your radio for us, please.
Yes, how you doing?
Doing well.
I'm in agreement with the gentleman in a way. We should be taking some of these politicians to court because time after time they have done this. And I understand that most of the candidates or the members of parliament are lawyers. They find loopholes around this, and they make laws to make sure it doesn't happen. But the people suffer through this. I have a question. Has Dr. Dowell or Brave Davis ever apologized for the things that are being done at Princess Margaret Hospital? Have they addressed it? Now, I want you to watch one thing. Since we're getting close to the end of this election, I'm noticing how they can spend so much money and time trying to win an election. If they put that effort into trying to bring Princess Margaret to a world-class hospital, I think we would be a better nation if they would spend that kind of effort. I mean, all the pictures and billboards. We could have had so many wheelchairs and ambulance and so many things happening, but they only spend the effort trying to get into Parliament, not trying to keep the country in a safe. And thank you.
Okay. Well, I
maybe
mean,
maybe if the party donors put their money into buying things
that's
for
the key thing.
You know,
yeah,
but they love to
what's
spend
up
plenty
with the people
money
funding the parties
on the parties and the parties.
Well, you know, it might be related to our headline story today.
Maybe,
but oh boy. And again, how many of them have promised campaign finance reform? And yet, we got a lot of interesting text messages. We'll get to those in a bit, but let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. Chester, how are you doing?
Doing well. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. Dwight, let me just say something to you guys. From either end, we will never see any of those take place in the Bahamas.
Any of those what?
Any forms of accountability, public aware, other concern from either entity.
Because why? Because you don't want it?
No, it isn't because some of us may not want it. It's simply because it reveals too much. And if something reveals too much, then there comes a lot of questions. Then they have to provide a lot of answers. And as long as we keep the mindset and what we're taught, we got to understand where all this stems from. This stems from a colonial approach to how you run a country. And we always like to compare ourselves to like what's going on in the U.S. and so forth. But we also need to understand that what we are experiencing in this country is not universal. I mean, it's not cohort to this country only. Take a look at a lot of the Caribbean, a lot of the type mentality operations, and you'll see that this is even right up into England, this is a standard of operation. This is book theory. So no matter how much they promise about freedom of information, this and that, that we will be beating up our gums until Jesus comes.
No.
It will never happen.
I refuse to believe that. I believe it's happening because
like Reverend Jesse Jackson used to say, keep hope alive, brother.
Okay.
Keep hope alive.
I hear you. Thanks a lot. Because that's all we are doing is talking, right? They're not getting the sense that we are really fed up with their foolishness. They're not getting it because they still have tons of people willing to wear their to come out to rallies, willing to walk with them through their walkabouts in towns and constituencies. They don't feel that the people are sufficiently angry about the things they promised that they haven't delivered. And until they feel that, they will continue to act like this because we aren't serious.
And if they can't come up with spin on some of the topics, they sure don't come up with anything shamelessly.
Their supporters, it doesn't matter. And they have spun it. They have said only elite people care about these things. Oh, bureaucracy, you don't need more layers of bureaucracy. They have spread that around when it comes to local government. Oh, just improve what we're doing now. Nonsense, all nonsense, right? But they have plenty of people fooled or lulled or contracted to agree with everything they say or don't say, right? And they will continue to do that. And they will pacify the people. Well, many of the people. Maybe even most. So we have no one to blame. We can't blame them. They used to ride. You find a donkey, ride it. Right? That's what one of those. That's kind of what the saying says. And clearly, that's what they think of most of us. 323-6232, 325-4316, and this is both major parties. They've been doing this to us. All of them. 325-4259. Call us toll free. 242-300-5720. Okay. First one out the gate. My gosh. Hey, Dwight. So a Haitian that Obama deported in 2016 somehow found his way to the Bahamas. How many of them you think are in the Bahamas who were deported from America? Okay. I don't know. But we
Somehow
need to make
found his
sure
way?
they
Lots of
can't
them found their
vote
way.
and that they don't have fraudulent documents, right? And that everybody who hires them ensures the same because things happen. People slip through the cracks. So, yeah. The consequences should be to vote. Again, I'm not talking about any specific party. I'm just saying this is how they all are, right? How many things were unfulfilled with the previous administration? It was
Why didn't read,
massive.
Why didn't read the rest?
But they say the consequence should be to vote the PLP out.
Every time.
Okay.
Even if they're not in power.
For some reason, it's really not for some reason. We refuse to give DNA samples. People want to know how the data will be secured. So none of you have passports. I mean, okay, so that's all. If you don't have a passport, then okay, no biggie.
Yeah.
But for people who already have the passport that contains your biometrics, I'm not understanding why you're complaining about the voter's card.
And what are they talking
The fake
about? Criminals.
Nobody
Nobody asked for blood
non-criminals.
or a cheek swab.
I mean, if you, so you,
did they?
you don't travel on a passport. Okay, well, good for you. Good for
They
you.
already got that stuff when they swab your nose for COVID. That's what it was all about.
Boy. People want to know how the data will be secured. Does it meet the same security standards as is in place for the passport? Who will have control of the data? Who will have access to the data? Is it broader than controls for the passport? The other reason for pushback was time. Thinking people said a year was insufficient time to implement an electronic voting system. We had 5 years. We had 5 years from the last election. Well,
But they said they started this stuff a while back.
exactly.
So they say.
And they've been dealing with one of the most reputable kind of thing, right? So how long does it take for you to use the purple voter's card? How long? When would it be good for you? 20, 30, something? Yeah? Oh, okay, now it's time. Please, please, please. All right. Well, keep voting with your little purple nonsense. This person says their PMH is in a horrible condition. That's just the text right there. Wow. Where is the blueprint for change document? Not one government minister has mentioned all the unkept promises in that document. I mean, you can find that document. Okay. But a new one is coming out soon.
The new print for change.
Better blueprint. Blueprint number 2. I said it before, if we keep looking at these parties in isolation without citizens holding them into account, no matter what party goes in, we will be right back at it. We need active citizens involved in the process. It does not work otherwise. Yes, indeed. Brave Davis said in the past, we need to shake tree. This is the time. The bell was rung. We need to send these. It says woodless. Is that a thing? Woodless?
I mean, what? Listen.
Maybe. But it says woodless. Woodless, good for nothing, horrible, disrespectful politicians home. They don't care about us. They do not respect us. Okay. Old Daddy Brave believe all of us stupid. He wants to give him a second. He wants us to give him a second time around to the only time Brave and his now weightless. Okay. Wow. Okay. Time to respectfully roll out. Wow.
Y'all need to turn off predictive text.
It'll be wigless next.
Yeah.
Bahamas, we need to vote the government out. We need to roll them out. Please ask the producer to play the song from Ludacris. I don't think we're going to do that.
Yeah.
But oh, wait. Okay, thank you for the text. Good morning. And I do believe and have seen and felt changes in our country, especially under Hubert Ingram's administration. There are changes under all administrations. Under all. You might not like them all, but changes happen.
People do some good things.
Yeah, man. Even this one, the last one, things have happened.
And in the midst of the good things, they do
some questionable things.
Questionable things.
And some horrible things.
Correct.
Yeah. All. I do believe that this change of younger, energetic opposition party is better suited for today.
Oh,
you mean the leadership? That's what you're talking about? 10 years younger. Okay. Please, Bahamians, register today and vote in the general elections. We will thank God for making our country better. Okay. All right. All right. Let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
Chester.
Morning.
Yo, the new Bahamas starts on what, May the 12th. That's just a reminder. Yeah, but the status
new
quo
Bahamas?
Pardon?
The new Bahamas, you said?
Yeah, the new Bahamas starts at 6 p.m. on
that early.
May the 12th. Yeah,
wow.
Start New Bahamas.
How will it be new?
It would be new because we can be rid of the old. The old, what we is called status quo of keeping parties, right? Because at the end of the day, if we don't get rid of these status quo parties on that glory day, it can all of these talks we was having on these shows for the last probably decade or more will be in vain because there will be absolute no improvement from these status quo governments. And I don't know when we can come to the conclusion and see that these two administrations are not interested in growing the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. I mean, we didn't see they say progress, we didn't see the regress of this nation for the last 53 years. We was looking better. We were more. Our culture was strong. We was respected as Bahamians. But today we have no culture, right? Yes, we don't because Compo can soon be our next what you call it?
Really?
Music.
Come on.
They ain't gonna be rake and scrape.
Come on.
Yeah, my Dwight. See, this is the reality we need to start facing, Dwight. We have to because if we keep pushing our head in the sun, what can happen when we put our head and look around? The only space we can have when we take our head of the sand, right, is the space where our feet is standing. Because what we was doing for too long in this country, this is not about hate. Because we ain't hate with people because nobody wants to go to a land where people hate them. Nobody. And nobody's going to make an effort to go to a place where people hate them. So nobody can hold Bahamians as people would hate. But we just and seeing the possibility of us becoming overwhelmed. Man. That's all this all about. And then the people we place to try to bring some type of peace to the Bahamian psyche, they just are busy continuing on with the status quo, man. Right? No.
Okay. I hear you. Okay.
I don't know if we're just going to start playing Compo overnight, carry it on the radio now.
I don't even know how to respond.
Anyway. Well, one party's promised strong stance on immigration, right?
Let's take another call. Good morning, call. You're on the air.
Yes. Good morning, Mr. Strong. Good morning, Chester.
Hi. Good morning.
Yeah, Dwight, the last caller is painting a real picture, right? But I'm much older than you guys, right? But the thing or something that's aphoristic, something that is. He spoke about poking your head in the sand as an ostrich, and then you bring it up what you will see. But I'm disheartened because eventually it would happen, and I don't know if you guys ever listen to me, different from the rhymes of the times depicting the crimes, right? What I'm saying is eventually what happened. I'm talking about the subjugation that you're willing to see, the blatant subjugation, the blatant, bold, audacious, contemptuous agendas and gestures by the political class, the ruling class. When I read COVID-19 and the Great Reset, it said something that disturbed me. It said post-pandemic. It talked about the post-pandemic era. And one of the things it said that governments globally will have either take a more egalitarian stance or a more authoritarian type stance. And so you and Chester spoke about an integral party. Why do you think I came on the radio and said I wish there was 50,000 people, Chester? Why do you think I'm saying things like that? Because I would be in the Rawson Square. I wouldn't even tell you what I'll do. But I want to outnumber the police that who is wear the beast uniform. Now, we know they do good. But when you see, during the pandemic, the police was willing to enforce the law that made no sense. It should frighten you guys because when you go to college, you only have limited knowledge. So you're not reading other books about what will happen, about the geopolitical, like right now, people are surprised about the war and the warmongering, and it doesn't surprise me because I've read the Iron Mountain Report. And so because people just read what they want you to read, then they want you to think what they want you to think. But this problem is, the guy made a very important point. If we hated them, they wouldn't come here. But we need to make sure they don't hate us. Because subjugation amongst Africans is unproductive. It is unproductive as a people. So we don't want you to be blatant. And listen, hey, Dwight, Papa, enough respect to Papa, You see me? Enough respect. And let me tell you something. I have young children, Mr. Strachan. And so if you're not going to live in harmony, and Dwight, I also said something that I can't remember if it was a Pavlov, the psychiatrist Pavlov. I don't remember his experiment from him or Skinner, but there was an experiment in which rodents were allowed to breed uncontrollably and compartmentalize, and then the rodents stopped having babies and they started to become more belligerent to one another. This experiment was done because this is what is being done to humans. And so people really don't realize that. You need to know about the rewilding of America, the Wildlands Project, in which populations, there's a reason for the designing of cities, to have people amalgamated and fused together. So when they introduce the digital capital panopticon, you'll be able to surveil us. But right, sometimes if you have a conversation, your mind will be open to a lot of things. I don't know who all knows about what I know, but I'll tell you one thing, you better listen to what I'm saying. Because most of the things I was saying, not even during the pandemic, you guys will live to see it. Give thanks, yeah.
All right. When's the holiday? Oh, we just had it. Oh, boy. We'll be back after the news. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Take it and don't be no fool. Check this, you'll never see a dog barking at a parked car. You'll never see him barking.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and app Nassau, Bahamas.
Back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. Also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas, Channel 969, and BTC Flow, Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-4796. Standard text rates apply. And now at 8:20, it's time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. So we've got a lot going otherwise. We've got a severe weather watch in effect for the Northern Islands. That's Grand Bahama, Abaco, but now portions of the Northwest Bahamas as well, including the Berry Islands, Northern Andros, Northern Eleuthera, and New Providence. So everyone's being advised to pay attention to this, as this will impact us for the remainder of the week. A gale warning is in effect for the Northern Islands as well. Occasional gusts to gale force possible across the Northern Bahamas beginning 12 p.m. today to about 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. And boaters, especially small craft, are in the areas of the Gulf Stream and Atlantic waters. So this is all as a result of a moist, unstable air mass supporting a meandering frontal boundary with an area of low pressure drifting northeastward across the northern and northwest Bahamas, along with a prefrontal trough that's sitting in an area between the central and southeast Bahamas. So unsettled weather is occurring in the vicinity of that front and trough, while the front drags strong to near gale force winds and rough seas behind it. Behind that front, strong to gale force breezes will create dangerous beaching and boating conditions, while the boundary is going to stall and weaken across northwest Bahamas by Friday. High pressure will strengthen behind the front, and that's going to further tighten the pressure gradient. That's going to allow the winds to increase across the islands through to the end of the week. So we've got a few days of this ahead of us. Today, there is a marginal to moderate risk of flooding in low-lying and flood-prone areas and urban areas across the northern Bahamas and portions of the northwestern islands due to the heavy and prolonged rainfall events. And there is a high risk of rip currents for all Atlantic coastal waters and passages. Swimmers are advised to stay out of the water from these areas and to exercise caution, especially in Eleuthera near the Glass Window Bridge. So your forecast for today: for the extreme northern islands, cloudy to overcast through tonight with a 40 to 70% chance of scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Look for a pop of sunshine at first for the northwestern Bahamas, becoming cloudy by this afternoon with a 30 to 50% chance of widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Partly cloudy to cloudy conditions through tonight for a 30 to 50% chance of widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms, though. And a mix of sun and clouds for the southeast Bahamas, turning fair tonight for a 20 to 30% chance of isolated showers or thunderstorms near the trough, and a 10% chance of showers elsewhere. Temperatures today for the extreme northern islands, you're looking at highs in the mid to upper 70s with all the rain and cloud cover. Overnight lows in the upper 60s, low 70s. For most of the rest of the country, we're looking at highs around 84, 85 Fahrenheit, 29 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about the low 70s, low to mid 70s, around 22 to 24 Celsius. In your extended outlook for tomorrow, Thursday, partly cloudy to cloudy at first for the northern half of the country with gradual clearing throughout the day and mostly fair conditions at night, but a mix of sun and clouds, becoming partly cloudy at night for the southern half of the country. Still a 30 to 40% chance of showers, but gradually decreasing for the northern half of the country later in the day. And by Friday, partly sunny to sunny, turning mostly fair at night, with a gradual decrease in showers and improving conditions as you get closer to the weekend. But still, gusts to near gale force for most of the country throughout the weekend and the start of next week. That's your Morning Blend weather check, brought to you by Star General. Ready to refresh your space? We'll head to your local Sherwin. Brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. If you're ready to refresh your space, head to your local Sherwin-Williams for premium paint, pro tips, and everyday deals that make it easy to get started. Time for a check of traffic, brought to you by NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers, your partner for smart motor insurance and advice that suits you and puts you first. Whether you're at home or on the go, getting an instant motor quote is easy. Give them a call or visit your nearest branch or log in anytime at nuainsurance.com. In your real-time traffic, we are seeing a few hot spots out there. We've got Milo Butler Highway with some heavy traffic once you get north of Fire Trail on the way to the roundabout with Tonic Williams-Darling Highway. And traffic back to belong Tonic Williams-Darling Highway right now, westbound towards that roundabout with Milo Butler Highway. But some building traffic eastbound as you approach Bahamas Games Boulevard and that roundabout as well. Blue Hill Road looking busy for you from Carmichael's Drive. You're going to see traffic both directions near Carmichael, north and southbound, but especially north of Soldier Road, heavy northbound traffic on the way to the roundabout. And Independence Drive looking busy for you eastbound right now as you head towards the roundabout with East Street and East West Highway. East Street, north and south of that roundabout, going to be busy. Northbound mainly straight through to Robinson Road. And east of that area, Robinson Road near Soldier. From there to East West Highway Marathon, heavy westbound traffic for you. Old Trail also looking busy at this hour. In the downtown area, we're seeing some slow-moving traffic on Bay Street and West Bay Street. We are expecting the house to be dissolved in just about an hour. So keep that in mind if you're in the downtown area this morning. That's your real-time traffic and your Morning Blend Traffic Alert. Traffic Alert also brought to you by the Ministry of Tourism. The nominations are in and all eyes are on the Bahamas. The World Travel Awards has recognized the Bahamas in 13 categories, from leading destination of 2026 to beach, cruise, diving, culinary, and more. Let's show the world what our islands have to offer and help the country claim the top spot. Cast your vote now at worldtravelawards.com/nominees.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Music, man. This is not a golden rule. Take it and don't be no fool. Check this. You'll never see a dog barking at a parked car, but him barking if the car ain't moving. You'll never see people talking about you.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight, Strachan, and Chester Robards. Coming up in just a few minutes, we are going to be talking with the Parliamentary Commissioner, Harrison Thompson, as the final hours of registering to vote are on. We'll get details on what to expect this final day. Later, we'll be talking with candidate for Centerville, F&M candidate Darvin Russell will be here. But we continue talking about what's in the news. So the conversation before was about what to do as the election approaches. We're expecting all the documents to be released soon on the promises that these political parties will make. And we're talking about broken promises from previous blueprints or manifestos or whatever they are, and what we should make of that. If they keep telling you election time, this is what we're going to do, and when they get in office, don't make any attempts to try to do that. Or even, which we've seen from both parties, claim that we don't want that. We don't think that's a good idea, that won't work. That's not possible. But you promised it. You promised it. Actually, some of you promised it in 2 election cycles, back to back, yet you get in and you don't do it. What does that mean? Are you just lying? You gaslighting us? What is it? You playing us for kicks and giggles? What is it? Is that not the saying? I don't know.
Is that how the phrase goes?
Oh, well, that's the only way I can say on the radio. But yeah, what's going on? All right. There's some other things in the news we want to get to as well. But let's read these text messages. People saying it's time to move on from the major parties over, and that there was before the break, a lot of talk about the country changing. But who's causing this? Who's doing this? Are we just passively sitting by watching people transform the country, or are we doing this? Are we doing this? The decisions that we make are causing this. What is it? This person says here, Dwight and Chester, the Bahamas that once was a Bahamian nation, once was a Bahamian nation, is being transformed into a multinational country with Creole people trying to control and change our lifestyle to suit their culture. Okay. However, Jehovah God Almighty is about to fight our battle, and we shall win again, even though it is a battle for survival. Oh, my God. So stand strong with Jesus today and live. Okay. Mr. Strachan and company, compa and reggae music is being played all over the Bahamas now. On the streets, loud, cussing music, no discipline at all.
No. That's not new. Especially reggae. And the loud cussing music was coming from American type music a long time ago. Anyway.
When the minister told students, you don't have to be a politician to be a hero, I nearly choked on my tea. Like, really? These folks are delusional much. That's in one of the news stories, I guess you're talking about. Okay. So, again, the Creole people are taking over, but when you go to a Bahamian, the text talk about Bahamian nation, we used to be a Bahamian nation. When you go to a Bahamian restaurant, a Bahamian business, and most of the employees are able to speak other languages other than English, I almost said Bahamian, what are we to make of that? When you go into a Bahamian business and everybody there is not a Bahamian.
Right.
They just came in there and took over the place. the Bahamian business?
It's a good question.
Did a Bahamian get kicked out of the hiring process and was replaced by somebody from a different country who decided to only hire themselves? That's what's going on? Because it's counting. Maybe I need to document so everyone can see where places I go that I know Bahamians own, where you can't find a Bahamian working there. What is that about? Who did that? The government did that? Or are the same people texting us this nonsense about Compa and we're losing our culture, doing this in their lives as well? Who's doing this? I really need answers. I need to know because the hypocrisy is outstanding. It's unbelievable.
It's true.
I mean, companies with Bahamian in the title, but you can't find one.
Mm-hmm.
And you know it's a Bahamian claiming that they own it, but you can't find any other Bahamians. What's
Maybe
that?
They just own the property.
Leasing out the name.
Maybe.
Okay.
Fronting, as we call it.
Okay. This is really special. So what are Bahamians doing?
It's a good question, too.
Are they working?
It's a good question, too.
They're working here, but are they only working in the government ministries?
Oh,
and
a lot
in
of
political
them.
parties.
A lot of that is going on.
So that's it? But retail, restaurants, everybody else.
Oh, that's why they can't find people to work in stores.
Because they're working for the government.
Working for the government. Oh, that must be what it is.
All right, so that's how they've done it.
That's why so many European people downtown putting cream on people's face.
I thought it was East Asian or West Asian, Middle Eastern. Anyone but Bahamians.
Yeah.
But
there's a lot of Indian people downtown.
Who's doing it?
Managing jewelry stores, which is interesting.
So who caused this? What's happening? And are we blaming the right people? And will any of the documents that you will receive, if you can find one, explain how they're going to fix it?
Probably not.
Let's take these calls really quickly because we have to get to our guest. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Chester, Shell, and Johnson. Dwight, you said something about action, right? There's also something called inaction. And so the question you ask yourself, what father would give their son who asks for bread a stone? And so the problem is that we have to hold what is called accountability. Yes, we may vote them out every 5 years, but what we have to do is before we sit and wait to vote them out, we have to begin to take action. And then we have to begin to gauge the tools that is necessary for us to do whatever. So when you speak of accountability, integrity, anti-corruption, and freedom of information, those are the principles of a 21st century society in a knowledge-based environment. And so when people actually reject those basically 5 principles, you can't get anything else. It's like painting black paint onto a clear glass and having somebody describe to you what's on the other side, you can't verify it. And that is what we've been allowing governance to do. And so essentially we now, though, over the last 5-6 years, the world has changed drastically. Right? And since, 2012, right? April, your anniversary is coming up, right? We're repeating the same thing, but if you begin to take the time to pause and ask, what has been missing from that? What has been missing from that is the tools that is necessary for Bahamians to develop themselves. We have had government describing the tools in the people's hand, but we are at a point now where we can now see the tools now. You don't have to describe the tools to us. So we have to then ask the question, is the governance we are seeking to get now capable of putting these tools into our hands? And the easiest way to determine that is, if you are capable of doing it, why haven't you done it? And that's what we've been asking for the last years and years. And so we have to ask it one more time. But this time, after we have purged governance and we put in a new administration, we have to then begin to take action rather than sitting within action.
Okay. All right. Thank you. One more call. Good morning, call. You're on the air. Hi, good morning. You're on the air.
Pleasant good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
And to Chester.
Good morning.
So I heard C. Allen, and you said, I heard a text about multinational and what the Bahamas is turning into. Why are we playing these games, Dwight? We acquiesce our power every 5 years to a certain group of people, right? Since 1973. and they, in turn, swear allegiance to a foreign entity. That's a great place to start. And until we address that, and I wonder if freedom of information would truly reveal who's really in charge in the Bahamas, because this is King Charles's place, even though we like to pretend that it's not. We vote. We go through this process, all the frustration with long lines, who failed, the promises made, promises. That's like hot potato. You remember that in school when somebody wants to start a fight? You throw it in the middle. And these guys are continuously, since 73, tossing stuff in the middle for us the smoke and mirror thing, and yet still, the fundamental thing that we miss. We will go in long lines, we will stay in long lines to register, and then the people that we send to what is supposed to be our parliament, they're going to pledge allegiance to a foreign entity. That would be a great place to start if you want a better Bahamas.
Wow.
Thanks for allowing me to
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. This text as we go to a break. This person says, hey, Dwight and Chester, I'm registered in voting for the COI. The Guardian has Creole radio talk shows, and we don't understand what they're saying. Compa and reggae will be the dominant music of the Bahamas, and your grandkids will have to fill out applications in Creole. So go COI.
They sure told you.
Wow.
Okay.
This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
The only time we can start back in is when the car start moving. Huh. Hey, I say, dog, don't back and back up. No way. Boy, she thinks she better than people. The only time we can start back in when the car start moving.
Every day in a busy world, we have to do so much. Bank with CIBC and get that personal touch. Share your ambitions, let us help your dreams come true. At CIBC, part of all we do, we're on your side. We're listening, we know the way you feel. CIBC, ambitions made real.
At CFAL, we understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit the needs of both large and small companies. With CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, ensuring peace of mind and financial stability for years to come. Join the many businesses that have already entrusted CFAL to create the right pension plan for their employees, and let us help you build a brighter future. Visit us at cfal.com to get started on building wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
CFAL is a proud sponsor of Team Bahamas for the 2026 Carifta Games.
Gold, silver, bronze, and Little Caesars, everyone wins. Introducing the new hot and ready 3-in-1 pizza, 3 flavors in one, pepperoni, cheese, and Italian sausage and ham. And the winning prize, just $11, VAT included. Whether you're celebrating on the track, in the stands, or on the couch, the 3-in-1 makes you the champion. Available now at Oaksfield, Carmichael Road, Pineapple Plaza, Charles Saunders Highway, and Prince Charles. Little Caesars, with the 3-in-1, everyone wins.
Pizza. New roads and airports are connecting our islands. Energy reform is bringing electricity prices down, while young Bahamians are stepping up, gaining new skills for new opportunities. Respect for workers. Support for we're modernizing energy and infrastructure across our islands and preparing Bahamians to succeed in a new economy. Transformations this big take time. Let's choose progress. Paid for by the PLP.
Ready to talk to someone about your health and receive the personal attention you deserve? Imagine having clear thinking and energy every day. Welcome to New Life, a health store featuring electric cell foods to cleanse and replenish the body, plus an alkaline deli and on-site consultations. New Life, your alternative to disease, located in the Independence Drive Business Park on East Street South. Visit newlifebahamas.com or call 323-6080 or 1.
Here's the show-winning art store moment from Shelley and Dee Dee.
We're the only full art store in the Bahamas. If we don't have it, we make a list, and trust me, our boss can get that. If you need that, he can get that. You can find sketchbooks, acrylics, the canvases in all sizes, stencils. We have the Angelus that they use on shoes and letters. We're the only persons in Nassau that carries the Montana spray. We have the Krylon sprays, watercolor and paints, the oil, chalk paints, the alcohol paint, metallic cleaning products for the artists, thinning products for the artists, and Crayola colors, and glitters, pencils, the Posca markers, and pastels, oil, and the acrylic pastels, dyes. Oh yeah, we also have airbrush paint. I didn't forget that part of the movie. Gift sets, hobbycraft,
Oil, shrimp,
clays.
stew, shrimp gumbo. But art supplies. We have a lot of them. Sherwin-Williams Art Store. Find colour in every day.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs and budget. For affordable rates with free on-site accident assistance, visit us online or in branch and just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us because we've got you covered.
Wendy's has brand new chicken tenders, and they're everything you've been craving. Crispy, juicy, and seasoned just right. These tenders bring the flavor from the very first bite. Dip 'em, dunk 'em, love 'em. With sauces like sweet chili, scorching hot, ranch, honey barbecue, honey mustard, and Wendy's signature sauce. Grab them as a kid's meal. Enjoy them on their own, or make it a combo that hits the spot every time. For tenders you're gonna know by name, it's gotta be Wendy's.
This is definitely the time for BAMSI to continue to build on the progress that we've made. There's now drone technology. There's now year-round container farming. You have hydroponics. You have aquaponics. You have precision farming. There have been record numbers of enrollments, record numbers of flat fishing certifications. We've had record enrollments in our online courses. Students from across the family of islands. Because in BAMSI, we are not just cultivating produce. We're cultivating producers.
Paid for by the PLC.
Struggling to find your financial rhythm? Make that move to Fidelity and let us help you orchestrate your financial goals into perfect harmony with free financial coaching sessions. Make that move today.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
KB and Sting, coming with the Bohemian ting. Come on, woo! Oh yeah! Yes!
We are with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Chester Robards, and it is D-Day, I guess. You've got only a few hours left to register to vote in the upcoming general election, and we are very, very happy to have the Parliamentary Commissioner Harrison Thompson with us on this busy day. Good that you can make some time for us, sir. Good to see you again.
It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm happy to be here to inform the public accordingly.
All right, so you were telling us off air you had a very late night.
Very late night. Some of my staff didn't get in until about 5-something this morning.
Wow. So they were registering people up until...
Registering people up until about 4.
Or you've been quoted in the media saying the turnout has been, the number of people coming to register has been quite impressive.
Very impressive. And we are pleased that Bahamians are coming out to register, and we hope that this will translate into them coming to the polls to vote on election day.
All right, so you announced it last week that you were halting verification to focus on new registrations.
And transfers.
So this is all new registrations, or is it mainly transfers? Because these people don't look all that young to me, but maybe it was just my eye.
It's a mixture. We have a lot of new registrants, and we have a lot of transfers. Transfers is the predominant thing now, but we have quite a number of new registrants.
All right, so let's explain it. Not everybody needed to transfer.
No.
Right? So who has to transfer?
Those who have moved since the last election, since they were registered, if they move from one area to the next, they needed to transfer.
But there's a time...
It's no time factor. Once they do it before the writ is issued, they can transfer.
Also, but if you just moved like a month or two ago.
No, you need to be 3 months in the area.
Okay.
At least 3 months in the new area before they could transfer in that area.
Okay.
Additionally, those who were affected by the boundary changes, we transfer them in-house. All they need to do is come in and have their card stamped with the new polling division and new constituency.
Yeah.
They have to do that.
They don't have to, but they already transferred because we did it in-house.
Right, okay.
So in the event that they don't get around to doing that, they would be in the new constituency in any event.
Right.
So all they have to do is show up on election day with a government issue ID, and they'd be able to vote.
Right. So they don't necessarily have to.
They don't necessarily have to
deal
come
with
in.
this today.
But we'd like for them to come and declare the issue.
Okay, so what numbers are we talking about? What have you seen, and what number is on the voter register right now?
Right now, we are over 202,000 voters on the register. It's the largest that we've ever had. I think up to this point, the largest we had was around 192,000. So this political season seems to generate a lot of interest, and everybody wants to register.
So these are younger people that you're seeing making up that difference, or
Yeah,
what are we
mostly
talking
younger people making up the difference. We had a registration drive at several universities in the United States, and there are quite a number of young people registered there also.
Okay, all right.
We also had UB here on 2 separate occasions. So we tried to capture the young people where they are.
And I know the last time we were here, we were talking about cleaning up the register.
Yes.
So this number includes the cleaned up register.
Includes the cleaning up. Since 2021, we removed over 10,000 persons from the register for deceased persons. Since 2017, when the continuous register came into play, 18,000 persons. So we continue to clean up the register.
Okay. So what's going to be happening today?
Today, the House will be dissolved. We will continue the registration process until 10 p.m. tonight.
10 p.m.
Yes. Yeah. Officially.
So it could go on a little...
It will go on beyond that.
Right.
But we cut off at 10 p.m. So we encourage all those who have not yet registered to come before 10 p.m.
Yeah. And this is unprecedented, right? Because normally when this happens, everything just cuts off.
Just shut off.
So what's the difference here?
Well, the Prime Minister decided that he will prorogue the House, give people time to register or transfer, and then dissolve the House a week or so later. And then they should do it a day after. In the past, sometimes you prorogue the House, dissolve the House, and they do it the same day. So
catching a lot of people off guard.
Yeah, but this time everyone had an opportunity to check their records to make sure that they are registered and they're in the right area.
Yeah.
Maybe that some of the numbers are starting to get really high?
Yeah,
I think
he
gave that time to...
Because he gave the time.
Yeah.
If he had announced that the House is prorogued, House dissolved, the writ is issued, they wouldn't have the time to come to do that.
So how has that kind of upset your Apple Card as such?
It didn't upset the Apple Card. I think we were ready to do what needs to be done.
Okay.
Our goal was to try to get as many Bahamians registered to participate in the democracy. It's the highest level of governance that we can get. So we wanted everyone who's eligible, eligible Bahamian, to be a part of that process.
And did you have to how did you gather the workforce to put it together? I mean, a lot of people out there.
It's a lot of people out there. And we started last July. From last July, and I had a registration team in every constituency in the country. In December, I had to close down some of them because nobody was coming out.
Oh, my.
Okay? But once this time, January, February, people started to come. And that's why people complain about long lines and stuff now. Some days my staff was out there and I registered 1 or 2 persons. Okay? But now everybody wants to get catered to in about 10 minutes.
Right.
And everybody, they come in buses now, and they come in buses and they expect everybody to be finished in about 10 to 15 minutes.
Well, let's talk about that because there have been lots of complaints about we should have expected it, knowing that Bahamians are last minute and that that your department should have been better prepared for long lines. What do you say to people who are saying
But right, no matter how, every event you have, if everybody decide to come at the same time, no matter what type of process you put in place. Just on Easter Monday, we had 5 teams at the Candlelight 6 gym. 5 teams set up in one area.
Wow.
So no matter what you do, if people come, if a group of us come together, we will have to wait.
And like you said, in December, nobody was there. Nobody showed up.
Nobody showed up.
On a typical process for one person, let's say a transfer, how long should that person be with one of your agents?
10 to 15 minutes maximum if they know exactly. The problem is some people don't know, cannot identify on the map where they live.
Oh, gee.
And that creates some challenges. Okay? Outside of that, the process is very smooth. You would hear testimonies where people were saying 10 to 15 minutes and they were out.
Right.
Okay? Because they know all of the factors involved.
Right.
Then some complain that they were there for hours. So, it all depends on circumstances.
Yeah.
All right. So do you expect, again, long lines today with all these long lines we've been seeing over the past few days? You expect it to be this heavy straight to the end?
I don't know what is happening in the Bahamas, but it looked like everybody's coming out to register. We expect to have long lines again today. We expect to work late into the night again. But we are up to the task. My staff has been doing a tremendous job, and I want to commend all of my staff who have been out there night after night, day after day. And some of the teams they start from 10 in the morning till the next morning. So it's not easy, but they're doing the best they can. And I encourage the public to bear with us. We want to accommodate everybody who's eligible, and we will do that as long as, they're there before 10 o'clock tonight.
Yeah.
Are you able to hazard a guess as to how many people you think will end up being registered before the election?
I would guess that maybe between 2,000 and 204,000, 205,000.
Wow.
Won't be no more than that.
Wow. So possibly 2,000 people today. Good gracious. Okay. All right. So this is an important question. People want to know. How you said it before. It's a lot of young people, new people who can register finally. But how many are newly made citizens? We're seeing lots of notices in the papers every day about people who are applying for citizenship.
I don't have the statistics with me. I wouldn't be able to speak to that now. If I know, I would do some research, but I could get.
So the next time you come on, we would love to know what that number looks like. All right. So the COI had some interesting things to say yesterday. I'm going to play this piece and get your reaction to it. This is a piece from our Arnika Bannister.
Coalition of Independence leader Lincoln Bain held a press conference today outside the Parliament Department, raising concerns about what he describes as a disturbing issue involving the security of election materials.
We are disturbed, first of all, of the fact that the parliamentary commissioner has no direct access to the vault, which keeps our election materials. We were informed this by police officers in SIB. We were informed of this by staff at the PRD who were all concerned about this fact. I called the parliamentary commissioner yesterday and he confirmed that that is the case, that he does not have access to the vault.
The general election will be held on May 12th. The Nassau Guardian understands that there are 2 keys to the vault, one held by the Security Intelligence, other held by Parliamentary Commissioner. Both keys are needed to access the vault.
Well, I was told that they have to call SIB, Security Intelligence Branch of the police force, and then they have to come to the Parliamentary Commissioner's department or registry in order to open that vault for them. That vault carries our election materials. According to law, only the parliamentary commissioner and his staff is supposed to have custody and care of all election materials. We are extremely concerned about this fact.
Bain says he has written to Parliamentary Commissioner Harrison Thompson seeking answers.
Staff have informed us that the PRD has to wait for SIB to send an officer to open the vault. This has sometimes taken days, holding up progress. The issue here is that Once SIB opens the vault and leaves, it remains open and persons in the building have access to it. Counterfoils and other election materials are in the vault, and this is a security risk.
Officials at the Parliamentary Registration Department have refuted these claims, asserting at no point is the vault left open. Reporting for the Guardian News Network, I'm...
Okay, Harrison Thompson's chuckling in the studio, hearing that report. So first of all, explain the election materials. What are we talking about here? And then you can respond to the claims there.
I am not sure as to what Mr. Bain is referring to in terms of election material. We have a vault at the department. The vault is a vault. The SIB senior officer have a key, and I have a key. None of us have access to that vault by ourselves. And about the vault being left open, that's a blatant untruth. Okay, I don't know where he got that information from. And he mentioned that I agree that I don't have access. Never, I never agreed, said that.
Oh.
Okay. I never said that, and I have witness. When he called me that day, I have witness who heard what was said. Okay? So that was never said. Okay?
Oh, boy. All right, so we don't need to be concerned about this at all?
No. The vault is secured and secured under the parameters of the Parliamentary Commissioner.
Okay. All right. This text is asking, what steps can I take if I'm able to vote? I will be out of the country during the month of May.
Well, if you're out of the country for medical or whatever reason, you can apply to vote in advance poll. And you would have to fill out a Form K. If you're overseas, the students and those have to fill out the Form J. But if you're traveling for whatever reason, and you will not be on May 12th, for the advance poll will be on the 30th of April, you would have to apply online, or you apply, come in and get a physical copy of the form.
Okay. All right. The biometric voters cards. I don't have mine as yet. Well, when will most of us get these cards?
Well, once we get through this process, we have the majority of the cards are in country now. We got another 5,000 that came in yesterday. So it's here, and we would start to issue them hopefully by next week for the other constituencies. We started with 4, and we'll beef it up next week.
We got this text earlier. This person's concerned that the issue with the voter's card is the storage, where this information is going to be stored. And they don't have that concern with the passport office, but they're wondering how you all will be concerned about that.
There's no need to be concerned. Just like the passport office, the biometric card data will be stored in the clouds as the passport and other information is stored. We have the highest ISO standards that we're using with the biometric cards. And the only thing we get on the biometric cards is your fingerprint and your facial. That's the two major things on the biometric card. And that is what is on your passport. So we're not going beyond what you give for your passport.
Okay. This text wants to know the registrar after this 10 p.m. after it closes tonight. The registry. How does the public have access to the full data of the registry voters for review?
The law requires that 14 days after the writ is issued, that I would certify the register. After that, the register becomes public for all and sundry.
All right, so we had somebody charged, they've been convicted now of possessing a fake voter's card. How likely is that a common thing? We know people have fraudulently obtained passports and documents, but do you see many people presenting with fake voter's cards?
Not many. If you have a voter's card, that means we were able to get some legal document, passport or something to verify that you're Bahamian. But if we find that any voter's card out there that might be fraudulent, we would deal with that right away. we work with the police, we work with the passport office, work with the registrar general's office to make sure that the documents that we have are authentic as much as possible and genuine.
That you had voters' drives for students in the U.S.
Right.
Somebody's saying here, was there an opportunity for students in the USA and Canada? You can tell us exactly where you had them. Why are there places for students to vote in the USA? Explain the whole process to us and where people can register, or can they still do that today, and if they are able to vote.
They could register in London, in Canada, throughout the Caribbean, in Jamaica, Barbados, Trinidad, and throughout the United States. Even in China, we would have advanced poll overseas voting in those areas. In Canada, we have.
It has to be the advanced poll.
It's overseas. We call it overseas for. It's the same day of the advanced poll.
Okay.
Okay. They would vote in that election, but they have to apply. The students, and if you work for the government overseas, you can apply to vote overseas. Or if you're traveling for medical reasons, whatever, you can apply, but you'll have to fill out the Form J to vote in the overseas poll. If you plan to vote in the overseas and the advanced poll in New Providence, in the Bahamas, you have to fill out the Form K. Okay? Once you go through that process and you get approval to vote in the advanced poll, you're good to go.
And what's the latest you can do that? Today is the last day for that as well?
No. The overseas voters, the 17th of this month will be the last day.
Okay.
For those in the Bahamas, the 25th of the month.
Okay. Any other things you want people to know about today and what to expect over the next month?
Well, over the next month, as we plan for the general election, just everybody will be focusing on registration. Once that process is completed, then my team will do a lot of in-house work to ensure that we're ready for elections. Get ready for the advance poll and the nomination day advance poll and general elections. I would invite the public to try to let us, as we go through this electoral process, to let us continue to be good Bahamians. Let us continue to treat each other as we would like others to treat us. There's no need to try to destroy this one or that one for whatever reason. Bahamians, we all love our Bahamas, and we all want the best for the Bahamas. So I would encourage all of us to let's join hands together and make the process work.
Okay, just a few more questions. Got a few more text messages coming in. This person saying that I'm in the line right now and I'm being told I can't take my photo with my shoulders and my belly out. They're telling me that I need to throw something over me. Wow. What are the rules here?
It's an official photo. We would like for you to at least present yourself, as best as you can. I don't know, the rising officer has that jurisdiction in the poll. They probably see something that they have some concern about, okay? But generally, we try to accommodate all and sundry.
Okay. Again, all new registrants were required to get the biometric card. Is that correct?
It's part of the law, yes.
Okay. And when is the
nomination day? Is on the 17th. The 16th, sorry.
Okay. All
No.
right.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's the 16th.
16th. Okay. All right. And again, if you haven't, you don't need to verify anymore.
No, you don't need to verify.
And even if you're already on the register, do you need to stand in this long line today?
No, you don't need to. If you're on the register and you have not moved, you have not changed address or whatever, you don't need to stand on the line. And if you don't have your purple card, you don't need to stand on the line. Once you're on the register, you could vote with a government issue ID on election day.
Yeah.
We have your counterfoil there. We know who you are. So if you want to avoid the long lines today, if you're only going to get a card change, and a lot of people just come in to get a purple card, okay? And
because they lost it or something?
Because they lost it or they can't find it, Right now, it's probably in the drawer somewhere, but they look. But because somebody tell them, go get your card, they stay online for hours to get a card. It's not necessary if you're on the register. You can.
Are there people at centers kind of telling people this as they join lines and just to
they
make
try
sure?
to tell them, but if you know you're the candidate and you tell me, yeah, you need your card. I want to see your card. You see, that causes people to say, well, I need to have my card.
Yeah. So and again, remind folks they didn't vote in the last election, but they voted in 2012. Are they on this register?
No, if they voted in 2012, no. Now, if they voted in 2017, they're on this register.
Okay. So they definitely need to register.
And need to register if you voted in 2012, but you didn't vote in 2017, or you didn't register for 2017, or 2022, 2021.
If you registered for 2017 but you didn't vote,
you're still good.
You're good.
Yeah.
But if you didn't register and you didn't vote for 2017,
no,
you're not on the permanent
register. You're not
register.
on the permanent register, or the continuous register we refer to it.
Okay. Well, this is it. This is it. I'm sure we're going to be seeing more of you over the next few weeks, but this is it for today for registration. And good luck to your department today. Hopefully, it won't be another 5 o'clock morning.
Thank you, but we're built for it, and we will do the best we can. Again, I want to commend my hardworking staff. They've been doing a tremendous job. We get a lot of abuse out there, but they stand the ground. Okay, and we will continue to serve the Beeman public the best way we can.
And I hope you're listening. And not everybody who's out there complaining needs to be on that line.
Yes.
So you don't have to put yourself through this stress. But this is it. Again, Harrison Thompson, thank you for making yourself available as always. We appreciate it.
It's a pleasure. All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a break for news. When we come back, we are talking to F&M candidate Darvin Russell. We got a lot more Morning Blend straight ahead on Guardian Radio 96.9.
And I always live. If you want me there by payment, and I don't like say nobody gonna spend my money when I go to my grave. Yes, I's a Bahamian. Don't wanna make no fuss, but if you we know, but outside tell you was one of us. Like I was grabbing though, don't act like you don't know, you know. Man, you know. Oh, man, you know. How Bahamian go? How they go? How they go? How they go? Oh, don't you know? Man, you know. Yes, man, how Bahamian go? How they go? How they go? How they go? Let's go. So proud to be Bahamian. Yes, man, no rock like you know. How Bahamian go now?
New roads and airports are connecting our islands. Energy reform is bringing electricity prices down, while young Bahamians are stepping up, gaining new skills for new opportunities. Respect for workers. Support for entrepreneurs. We're modernizing energy and infrastructure across our islands and preparing Bahamians to succeed in a new economy. Transformations this big take time. Let's choose progress. Paid for by the PLP.
With Lysol, you can disinfect all surfaces inside and outside your home. When used as directed, Lysol eliminates 99.9% of bacteria, fungus, and viruses. Maintain a healthy home by preventing sickness and keeping infections under control. Don't just clean your surfaces, disinfect them. Lysol does more for you, and that's our mission for health. Thompson Trading Company.
You try to rest, roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers. For window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. We can print it, just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Play with Island Games. We making dreams come true. Play with Island Games. We paying more out to you. Don't mind the noise in the market. You getting cash in your pocket. 'Cause Island Games is spicy and spicy is tradition. So when you play Island Games, we putting Bahamians first. Guaranteed to pay. Island Games. We like them other jokers. We've been here from the start. From the bike to computer. Island Games. We gonna make your dreams come true. We playing with Island Games.
At Star General, you can go gold. Comprehensive car insurance covers loss or damage from accidents, fire, theft, and third-party liability. But the Gold package gives you increased coverage for rental car and windscreen, personal accident, medical benefits, deductible waiver, and 24-hour roadside assistance where available. Our Star General Gold package also gives you up to $2,500 for accidental damage to a rental car anywhere in the Bahamas. Go gold with Star General. Insurance made simple.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app. Nassau, Bahamas. Are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to a special Morning Blend Business on this Wednesday, April 8th, 2026. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Chester Robards. And this morning we are happy to have with us the F&M candidate for Centerville, Darvin Russell. Good morning, sir. Great to have you on the show.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Chester. Good morning to the nation. Great to be here as always.
I guess it's a welcome home.
It is indeed.
This is twice in a row now. We've had former hosts
okay.
Who are now candidates. This is becoming a
trend.
A thing. I don't know. We'll keep poaching our talent here at Guardian Radio. This is anyway. Good to see you. Good
Same
to see
here,
you.
man.
So I'm going to ask you the same thing I asked the previous person we talked to. Why? You have a wonderful voice on. You're making so many great points. People call in and say, "Who's this guy? He's amazing." And I feel like you were touching people. Why do you need to get into politics?
Dwight, that's such an interesting question because most people who know me know that from I was probably 16 years old, this is the thing this is what I came back home to do. I moved back home in 2004, the year my daughter was born, to get back. I represented the generation of persons who voted for the first time and ushered in the Free National Movement in 1992. And from then, I've had the political bug. It bit me from long time. So for me, this is an issue of service. This is an issue of, if not you, who, if not now, when. For many years, I've sat around water coolers, kitchen tables, backyard patios, having conversations about why things aren't different in our country. I have to look my daughter in the face, and she has to be proud that her father made an effort, made an attempt. My siblings, my parents, my loved ones, my friends support me, the wonderful residents of Centerville. This is an issue that is beyond political aggrandizement or me feeling the need to be a politician for politician's sake. I genuinely am interested in doing right by Bahamians, and I just, to this point, do not feel as though a version of me has been reflected in Parliament. And for whatever reason, we have not moved on certain ideals that I hold true, certain issues that I believe the administration that I'm hoping to be a part of I believe is committed to doing those things. I mean, if you look around you, we know that we have an immigration crisis. We still have an unemployment issue, a chronic unemployment and underemployment issue. We still have issues for me as a small business person around. We still are backwards in terms of the way government is administered. These are chronic issues that stop the growth and development of the country. I mean, I heard my fellow colleague Rick did a live talking about a lady in his constituency who the matriarch passed away the other day over a land deed issue. These are very visceral concerns that Bahamians have. It's not okay for us to live under a mediocre environment when so many of us are excellent in what we do. It has to change. It just has to change.
All right, so I want to explore that a little more, the version of you that needs to be represented, right? But we were talking about this at the beginning part of the show, that in opposition or in the weeks leading up to the election, you
Sure.
read all these documents and all these promises are made, and everybody's saying what you want to hear. We believe this. We're going to fix this. We're going to do this. But when folks get in, that's put to the back burner.
Yeah.
And it's more of the same for 5 years if you're lucky.
Yeah.
Why should we believe that that the prime minister says or what the leader of the party says to do once you get in, and the version of you that we like might not show through? What are we? Why should we believe it?
You know, that's a very real issue, and I don't skirt around answering it because it is one of those issues that's very germane to the hearts and minds of the average Bahamian. And I don't have a politically canned answer other than the truth. I have not made promises on the campaign trail that I couldn't personally fulfill with the money that the government of the Bahamas provides for me as a representative of Centerville. I am not promising people that I'm going to get them in a government house, provide them with a government job, build them a new house. I mean, I'm not doing outlandish things on the campaign trail. But your neighborhood is going to be cleaner than it was the day before. I can control that. I can control how quickly I return your phone calls. I can control the level of responsiveness that I have. I can control facilitating helping you become more job ready because you don't know how to write a resume or you aren't presenting yourself properly in front of an interview. These are things that I can control, and these are meaningful things. I can give you access to my network of family and friends and business associates who want quality people and are looking for work and don't have the time or the patience to sort through 150 resumes to choose the best 2 or 3 persons. I can do those things, and I am doing those things already. So I think to the politician that goes and does that, there is a degree of disingenuousness that people are rejecting, and I accept that they are rejecting that. That's not Darvin Russell. So I know that there are certain promises or certain things that I would like to do. For example, my Junkanoo village. I know I'm going to require the support of the leader to get that done. So I'm not promising that that's going to happen. I'm just sharing that that's a vision that I have for Centerville. I think that he has already promoted the idea of doing something along the lines of urban revitalization. And I think my program would fit nicely in some of the things that he's already committed to as a party. So I don't think that there is an incongruency even between some of the grandiose things that I wish to accomplish and where the party is already headed in that direction. To those politicians that are doing that, I say shame on you. You don't need to manipulate people in order to get a vote. I think we have to get to the point in politics in this nation where we don't do things for political expediency, and that's not who Darvin Russell is. Anybody that tracks my career as a person, as a business person, as a parent, as a friend, knows I hold my integrity to my heart. If I say I'm going to do it, I do it. And if I don't do it, I could have forgotten, because people also know that I have a horrible memory. So send me a reminder. There is no malice in my heart towards you that I did not do what you asked me to do. And if I can't do it, I'm going to tell you no. It's not possible. I'm not able to. And that's just how I am. I've been consistent with that on the trail as an aspirant.
Yeah, just to piggyback on that, what's your understanding of our system and how it treats candidates who may not get a political cabinet position?
Yeah.
I know you said obviously you have some low-hanging fruit in the constituency if you're successful that you could do, but you have these changes that you want to see in the country in general, but also in the constituency that you're in, and how our system allows candidates to do that. Outside of what the leader wants or the party itself wants.
Yeah, that's a good question. There is an ecosystem. I'm not sure how the PLP operates. There's an ecosystem within the party that allows for your voices to be heard, whether it's a caucus, whether it's the meeting of the minds, whether it's formal council meetings. There are opportunities for that to be spoken about. Obviously, you have more influence if you sit around the cabinet table. But yeah, there are forums and mechanisms in place for those issues to be voiced and expressed, and agitated for.
All right, so you mentioned immigration. We know that's a hot issue. We've had quite a bit said this morning about it as well. What's your take on the crisis, as you put it, and what needs to be done?
So, Dwight, immigration specifically, as it relates to Centerville, Centerville has many of the inner city communities, Centerville, St. Barnabas, Engliston, Bain Grantstown. Those four that are contiguous to Centerville have the same issue. There's a lot of common thread amongst those constituencies, and it's that there is this feeling very palpable. There are too many persons who are not of the Bahamas amongst us, and it is unsettling to them. And they want to know what has happened and what we're going to do to address it. Obviously, you don't know whether or not the person next door to you is illegal, so we use markers to determine whether or not the person is here and is of the soil or has been living here long enough to justify their presence from a permanent residency or citizenship perspective. Mm-hmm. And that's the Creole language is still being spoken, or any other language that's not English being spoken. The mannerism, some of the behavior, the fact that they see somebody who's not a Bahamian getting work ahead of them, getting contracts ahead of them.
And most of these people are working,
absolutely.
Right? Mm-hmm.
And these things are very unsettling to persons within Centerville. So when you look at that being the context through which and the lens through which they're speaking, you have to address it in a meaningful, not superficial way. And I think the leader, to be fair to him, and the party has articulated with the Project Shield some very specific and concrete steps. He has said from our launch that if you come here illegally, you are not going to be a citizen of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. That you can't get any plainer in language than that. So the notion that you're going to be able to vote goes out the window. It's not going to happen. So the fears around that for persons who came here illegally will not occur under Free National Movement administration. He has already called for independent oversight to the process by which we issue citizenship. He has called for a commission of inquiry into the issuing of these documents fraudulently, as he has spoken about. These are very already had a laser focus on, and I'm sure he will reveal more and more as he does interviews, as our platform gets officially launched. I'm sure imminently, probably. All of these things are going to come out in greater detail, but it is a very real issue. That, and I would think unemployment and underemployment are the number 1 and 2 issues in Centerville.
Mm-hmm. But again, most of these people are working.
Most of these people are working, yeah.
And so what does that mean? And a lot of them, as we said earlier, a lot of them are working for Bahamian companies.
Yes, they are. And if they are presenting documents that allow them the right to work, by and large. So now whether or not, as we have talked about with the parliamentary registrar, whether or not those documents were obtained by other fraudulent documents is a different conversation. You don't know that as the average, but you don't know that as an employer. Somebody presents to you a valid work permit that was fraudulently obtained, but you don't know that. Just like the passport, it is a legitimate passport obtained via illegitimate means. So you have to go back to these source documents. You have to go back to these affidavits. You have to go back to these birth certificates. You have to go back to these voters' cards. All are secondary documents, driver's licenses, that start with the passport, the birth certificate. So those are the 2 documents that require the greatest level of scrutiny. Mm-hmm. And I think the party is committed to doing that, to doing just that.
But do we really believe that the Bahamian employer is not aware that this could potentially be fraudulent, or that there couldn't have been Bahamians who could have done this job?
No, they are aware to do it, but the issue for them is sometimes just ease of hiring. The issue for them is maybe there's a perception that they get paid less, for example, than a Bahamian. Maybe there is a perception also that they work harder than a Bahamian. There are lots of things that a business person goes through in order to make a hiring decision.
So doesn't that contribute to the problem?
It does contribute to the problem, but unless you are going to now go down another road that talks about punitive measures for hiring an illegal, but once again, Dwight, this is a slippery slope, because I presented valid documents to you for you to prove that. The onus is always on the state to make sure that the documents it issues are not from fraudulent information. That is always, the burden is always on the state. Now, you can develop a mechanism, as they do, I think now in Florida with Real ID and some of these other provisions that say maybe as an employer you need to call a particular number to verify that this national insurance number ties to this work permit. Yeah, there are measures like that that you can take. I don't want to preempt what the leader would address, but there are means that you can do a further validation and require a hiring decision. Yeah, there are some layers that we can go through, but you have to balance that between, once again, an ease with which you need to hire and have your business, because we want the economic engine to continue to move in a steady fashion, right?
And to the folks, mainly Dwight, who believe that everybody's fully aware of what has happened, and this is not new, not only in the last 5 years, been going on for decades probably, have intentionally been doing this, because this is what you mentioned, to not be able to, not be forced to pay the salaries that a Bahamian would accept, and that we've created this situation all on our own. What do we do? Or should we be afraid to punish the people who've helped create this situation and made it much worse?
No, I don't think you should be afraid. I think that the average Bahamian business person is a law-abiding person. I think the average Bahamian person, if they were given a choice between being penalized for hiring an illegal and hiring a Bahamian, they are 9 times out of 10 going to hire a Bahamian. The risk just isn't worth it. I mean, you're right now. I always have this joke amongst my friends that there is a convenience to illegality. You understand? It's like for us, if I don't think I'm going to get caught, man, I might take the chance and do that. But if I know, hold on, that comes with a $5,000 fine. The reason you comply with that is because the punitive measure is so significant, I don't need to mess with this. National insurance, same way. The punitive measure, and we have to do the same with immigration. So that it's that simple to me. I don't think we should overcomplicate these issues. If you know hiring an illegal costs you $5,000, $10,000 per offense, that is not going to happen if you believe that enforcement is going to occur. That's not going to happen. The average person is not going to risk hiring a gardener, a mason, a carpenter on a job where the margins, his entire $40,000 on that small home. He's not going to pay a $10,000 fine just because he wants to save $1,000. They're not going to do that. So these.
I'm prepared to do this.
Don't do that to me, Dwight. I'll let the leader answer that part of the question. Yeah.
But you would support?
I would support that. Yeah, absolutely.
You use the key word here, enforcement. Something that's
always been the case.
Don't think is happening. So what do we do about that? I mean, you talk about people on the take.
Yeah.
So you can't. How do you deal with those?
The leader has already said that he's committed to the thorough review of these issues and putting in place the commissions, the persons, the laws, whatever is required to give Bahamians the comfort that's needed around these documents and the validity thereof. He has already spoken to that. So I'm just reiterating the things that he's already committed to.
The previous FM administration, came in on this idea that we're going to make the hard changes, even if it costs us the popularity of the country, because this is going to upset a lot of people. But we're going to fix the system. And is that something we could look forward to now again? That we're going to, the things that we're talking about that we want fixed, that's going to cause a lot of Bahamians who might take a bribe there or take a little money there, we're going to stop you from doing that. And you're going to not like us for that.
I think that there has been a consistent history of free national movement administrations where the public has felt, I could argue consistently, that when we are in governance, there is a greater sense that the country is being run with a greater degree of integrity. That's just the fact. I do not believe that posture has changed at all. And you are introducing a significant number of new candidates who, by reputation, you can speak to these persons, you can do the research. I'm sure Dwight has done it. These are people of integrity. I do not, Chester, expect there to be any different with the way a Prime Minister Pintard governs this country from previous prime ministers in the FNM. We are just a party of integrity. That's what we promote. It doesn't happen under an FNM administration, but it just means that we do not cloak wrongdoing when it is discovered. That has always been our posture. It will not be any different.
We are talking with Darvin Russell, the FNM candidate for Centerville. We're going to get more into the issues facing Centerville, but this always comes up, the role of an MP. What do you see as the role of an MP? And I want to get into local government in a bit, but let's start there. What do you see?
I will say it in this statement. I think the role of an MP is to facilitate the improvement of the lives and well-being of the citizens that he or she represents, and to advocate for their needs in Parliament. That's my basic definition of what I think and the kind of MP that I hope to be.
Should the MP be paving roads, filling in potholes, fixing up the park?
There is an element of responsibility that an MP has in a minor sense to some of those things, but I think it's more of a role of facilitation than the person doing the do. And I do believe we have to get back to a position where the organs of government perform their functions. You should call my office, Mr. Russell, there's a pothole. There has been a pothole for the last 30 days on Plantal Street. It needs to be filled. I'm on it. Did you call the Ministry of Works? The pothole number, were they unresponsive? Then I view that my role is a role of escalation. So when you run corporations, you first you go to your supervisor, next thing you go to their boss. By the time it gets to me, there are 3 other persons that didn't resolve the situation. And that's how I view the role of an MP. My job is to make sure that the problem goes away. Yeah.
Okay. So now previous FNM administrations have promised local government for New Providence, expanding local government for the Family Islands, but yet here we are. We don't have it. What is your stance on local government for New Providence? And is that something that we can expect anytime soon?
I don't think that the party and the leader has spoken specifically to this issue. I would have to wait to see what the posture is. My personal view on it is I can see a version of it in New Providence. I don't believe that it needs to be manifest in the way that it is in the Family Island communities that are more removed from central government. It is kind of dicey in Nassau doing it simply because the members of Parliament almost act in that capacity in a certain degree. That's how they're called upon. That's an argument that could be made that they should not, especially if they have cabinet level responsibilities, especially if they have other roles that take them away from the actual administration of their constituencies. There's validity to saying that. I just don't know if the answer is in the current incarnation of how local government is done. The concept of local government where you delegate certain authority to an individual or a body, yes, I can get with that structure, if you will. I don't know it's a 1-to-1 ratio for me. Every constituency should have a local government representative in Nassau. Maybe I would more...
It doesn't have to be like that.
Yeah, maybe a zone of some type. You break Nassau into 4 zones, maybe. And you have 4 administrators, if you will, allocating a portion of the national budget for them to do these specific things. I could see that. I could see that happening. I can support something like that.
Okay. All right. That's very interesting. All right. So we were talking off air about the electorate. What we're seeing, you've been talking to young people and your sense. We were talking to the parliamentary commissioner before you, and he said some of the new registrants are young people, but some are not. From what you're seeing, what are you getting on the street? What's the sense?
There is a dichotomy where you have a percentage of young persons within these communities throughout New Providence, throughout probably the country, that are apathetic and they're just not voting. They're not registering. They're not tempting themselves to vote. They are just not voting. They do not believe that politics is for them. They don't believe that their vote makes a difference. And as I mentioned to you off air, I do believe that segment of the population, we will have to prove them wrong. We will have to show them that governance can be different. It will be different. And in the next cycle, I think that apathy will correct itself, but it requires a degree of performance from an administration to change the trajectory of their perspective.
You mentioned 1992, and it was young people made a big difference there. What's changed in our country?
I think what's changed is the belief that your vote matters. In 92, I was a part of that freshman class, if you will, that ushered in Mr. Ingram, because that was the first election that I voted in. And we had a very different perspective. In our minds, we felt as though we were going to deviate from our parents. We were going to do something different, and we were going to see if our collective voices mentioned. It's almost as though the young people had a caucus, and we all directionally decided on the same direction. Nowadays, I think that there is a fracture in that, as I mentioned to you in Chester, there's not a singular unifying issue. That there's not a coalescence around, let's say, unemployment or job opportunities or entrepreneurial opportunities. Their issues are varied. Their issues can be work. Their issues can be the cleanliness of their neighborhood. Their issues can be support for single mothers. Their issues can be the administration of government. So they're varied. There's not a unifying voice with which they speak with. But the common thread for them is there is a disconnect between what government is doing and what they want it to do. And they aren't always able to articulate that as clearly as my generation was probably able to. So even for a politician, it's sometimes difficult to address their concerns because they are that varied. So what I usually say when I meet them, I'm not shy. I don't shy away from the conflict, the difficult conversations. These are the young people that I taught at the University of the Bahamas. These are the young people that I engaged with yesterday. We were at the University of the Bahamas again for an event, speaking to hundreds of them that came through the various constituencies to talk to the representatives. A lot of them want to learn. They're somewhat removed from even the process of governance. Chester talks about sometimes like how do they view what the role is, like even what their role is, and just simple things that they are unaware of. What is the process of registration? What are the documents that we take for granted that everybody knows? They just don't know. And I think we have to treat it, and I engage with them with my professor's hat on, with my teacher hat on, because this is an opportunity to educate and to inform. It's not to berate. It's not to demean. It's not to fuss at them or rile them. That's not the time. It's just to educate them, to give them a perspective, to sometimes challenge their own viewpoint as to why they feel the way they do. And sometimes we don't even understand some of the privileges we enjoy are because a politician decided that this is a policy I'm going to implement. As I said to them yesterday, the reason you go to the University of the Bahamas for free is because a politician did that. So these are policies that governments implement. So they're all not the same.
Yeah.
And it's incumbent upon you to make a decision. I want you to vote. I want you to vote for me, but I want you to vote more than anything else, because I believe that we should not have another minority government. We now have a sitting minority government that does not have a majority mandate. I want a majority mandate for the next administration. 51+% of Bahamians needs to say, this is who we want to govern us for the next 5 years.
Wow. Now, do you think Bahamians in general, you talk about college students, but feel like after the voting is done, they're left out of the process completely of the way their country is developing, moving forward? As an MP, and we heard from Robin Lyons, who said, as we bring bills to Parliament, I'll go to my constituency, I'll have the public meetings, I'll talk to them about what this bill is. It doesn't happen in constituencies, but an MP will stand up and say, the constituency supports this, and the constituency is like, I don't know what he's talking about. They're left out of the process completely. Some of the things that they can really kind of be a part of that might affect them is if you're building a hotel in the middle of their city, you can go and talk to somebody about that, whether it happens or whether your voice matters or not, who knows. But something you can do, but they don't even do that really. So how do we change that thing right there?
Chester, we struggle from what I call asymmetrical information in the Bahamas. The politician knows way more about things than we, the general public. Now, part of that is by design. The opacity with which we govern is by design. So we have to get to the point where we are almost dogged in our determination as an electorate and demand more transparency. We are committed to the Freedom of Information Act. The leaders already talked about that publicly. But by and large, I think MPs have to do a better job informing their constituents about which bills are being presented, which ones are in draft form, which ones are on the table, and make the information more accessible. Even for the media, you guys should be able to go online at any given point and be able to find these are the bills in draft, this is the version of the bill, these are the things that are going to be tabled in Parliament, these are the answers to the questions that came up. These are just very basic things in governance. I would like to see, for example, a monthly, a quarterly performance review on KPIs, like how many work permits were issued. Why isn't that just regular public information? How many building permits were issued? What was the value of those building permits? Why isn't this just basic standard information that we can go online at our fingertips?
How many naturalized citizens?
Thank you. These are basic things that civilized, developing nations, developed countries do. And we're going to get to that point. I believe in my lifetime we are going to see that. And it is my hope and expectation we're going to see that in the next 5 years under a Pintaud administration. These are just basic things that people are asking for that are not outside the realm of reasonableness.
Time's going very quickly. Callers, we'll get to you in a second. You mentioned UB, and we take it for granted the people that we know, because we know you. But let people know, who is Darvin Russell? You're wearing an Orkin shirt. You talk about UB. You do a lot of things.
I do.
Let people know.
I do. My background, as you know, is in finance and economics and entrepreneurship. I, just like many others, left the Bahamas at the age of 18 to go to undergraduate school in South Carolina, at South Carolina State. I have a bachelor's degree in economics, a master's degree in finance with a minor in real estate. I have worked in corporate America and corporate Bahamas for most of my adult life. I worked at Bank of America as a commercial lender. I worked at General Motors as a director of finance, before coming home to be CFO of Freeport Concrete, which was a building supply and a concrete company. Then I taught at the University of the Bahamas for 4 years, and that was between 2007 and 11. After that, I went and had my longest stint in corporate Bahamas. I ran DHL as the CEO of DHL Bahamas for 8 years. Demitted office in 2018, did some freelance consulting with the Small Business Development Center. The IDB, worked with them on a project within that capacity, and have been in full-time entrepreneurship since I left DHL. And so I run a pest control company, a car rental company, and consulting. And my job now is as a political candidate for the Free National Movement in Centerville. And I hope to be the new member of parliament for that on May the 12th.
Okay. All right. Wow. Let's get these calls in, and then we'll talk specifically about Centerville issues. We've got some questions about that as
Certainly.
well. Caller, good morning. You're live on the air.
Hey, good morning.
Hi.
Good morning.
Okay, this is Mr. Russell, right?
This is he.
The candidate who's running against Mr. Campbell in the next election.
Yes, ma'am.
But when are you canvassing? Because in our yard, we have, this is polling division 8, right next to that, and I'm not quarter.
Yes, ma'am.
We have yet to see you.
Okay.
And in my yard, it's 23 votes.
I have been in polling on occasion. If you can share with me or feel comfortable leaving your number with the producer, I'm happy to make a private visit to your home. Oftentimes, I canvass, and I can tell you weekly between the hours of 4 to 6 or 4 to 7 through the week, and on Saturdays from 10 to 1. One of the challenges that you will experience as a voter is we can't be all places for everyone always at the same time. The challenge that we have is there's still not only a limited number of hours in the day, and obviously you're not always home when we canvass. So this is the reason why we sometimes leave material for you to reach out, but I am happy to make a private visit to your home If you would leave the number with the producer, I'm happy to do that.
Before you go, caller, I mean,
what is your plan for Central?
Sure. I think the producer is going to talk about that, but I can tell you specifically some of the things that we have planned.
And before he gets into that, I don't want to hold you up too long, but what are some of your issues in the constituency? And then we'll get Darvin Russell to answer the question. What are some of your concerns?
Basically, all of I've seen a polling division number 8.
Mm-hmm.
All of our concerns, we have already addressed our real concerns because Mr. Campbell has done a magnificent job. So what I'm saying, and Centerville at heart can say that, because like I said, I've been here all of my life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know Mr. Russell. Mm-hmm. I've never seen Mr. Russell.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So I need to know what he has to offer us in Centerville.
Mm-hmm. So
all right. So everything's perfect
right now. So all of our, we have room for improvement. Yes, everything has room for improvement. But so far, Mr. Campbell has been doing an awesome job.
So
I want to know what he has to offer to add to improving Centerville.
Okay, leave your number with the producer, caller. Thank you very much. Okay, what do you say to that, Darvin Russell?
No, so one of the things that I think people need to be cognizant of, and candidates as well, for a call like that. It's really important for you to be able to share what it is your issue may or may not be. If she is comfortable with the level of representation she believed that Centerville has, I would need to speak with her to say specifically how I could assist her issues. What I plan on doing for Centerville in the general main, we have already had several breakfast feedings. 3 of them have been at F&M headquarters, which is right down the street from where she's saying that she lives. I have been at all of them, meeting residents. I have assisted persons with getting their businesses started by providing either equipment or helping facilitate their licenses. We're getting ready to officially open the headquarters where we're going to have entrepreneurship classes, our afternoon work assistance or BGC, SE, BJC prep. There are real credible things going on in Centerville. We had our Easter celebration on Saturday that was fantastic with the kids. So I'm not really sure. Once again, we talk about this asymmetric information. The numbers are on all of my marketing material, 814-7899. FNMCenterville242@gmail.com. I am not a difficult person to get a hold of at any point. So I would need to speak with her specifically on what it is she feels Centerville can improve on. But those are some of the initiatives that I have already launched and launching.
First time caller too. Never heard her before. Interesting. What are your views as a texter? What's your views on capital punishment and all the junk cars in Centerville?
So when you walk among Centerville,
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
There could be some relationship there, but when you walk in Centerville, you'll see some of these stickers that have been recently placed on some of these abandoned cars that shows that they're supposed to be removed. They have not been removed. They're everywhere among Centerville. They're in Culmersville. They're off of Mont Royal and Montrose. They're everywhere. I'm not sure why, if there was an opportunity for improvement. The lady says she may not have the issue in Polling Division 8, but Mr. Campbell can certainly be more efficient with having those vehicles removed, because those labels that have been on those vehicles have been there for months. And therefore the vehicle itself has been there for even long. There is a tremendous amount of trash. You see now there's an urgency by the incumbent to push down this lot or that lot. All of these are being done now within the most recent months that I have been engaged in the community. So we know what happens close to election when you start to feel as though there is pressure on you to be performative. This has been the common theme, and these are some of the things that people have been rejecting consistently in the Bahamas, and this lends to that voter apathy. I only see you now. I haven't seen you in 4 years. You come and you strategically visit this home or that home. You do this in that neighborhood, but not in this neighborhood. You provide a contract for this one and not that one. And the leader himself, you may have your issues with him for whatever they may be, but one thing you know for certain is that in Marco City, he governs and he leads for both PLPs and FNMs. The FNMs, we are a party that governs for the entire Bahamas. We don't cherry pick as to who we're going to support. So at the end of the day, in a lot of these communities, and I and the residents of Centerville know exactly what's going on and has been going on. I don't need to convince them about the presence of the current incumbent. They know that. They know whether he's been present. So if he's been present for the lady who called, he's not been present necessarily for the other persons within Centerville. That's the problem with asymmetrical behavior. And so for me, I'm going everywhere, knocking on every door. It's unfortunate that I have not had a chance to speak with her specifically, but I'm knocking on every door. I and my team are doing that on a nightly basis.
And local government would really help with a lot of abandoned vehicles all over the place. But capital punishment, what is your view on that?
I do support capital punishment, yes.
Okay.
I've seen this lot pushing, and that's happening in your constituency as well. But they push back the foliage from the side of the road, as well as the garbage, and leave it there.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing to do.
Yeah, strategy,
yeah.
All right, so we got about a month before.
Left to go.
What's next? What can we expect? We got a minute left.
So obviously, Dwight, we're planning now our Mother's Day celebration. More to come on that. We'll probably have an official announcement for the opening of the headquarters. They're putting the final touches on it this week. Probably on Monday, I would say in the programs, you'll start to see the listing of the programs, the entrepreneurship program, the after-school program, to see the days that you can participate in those activities. We're probably going to do, starting this week or next week, do some more small home repair initiatives around that. And then the food pantry is something that's probably going to also happen within the next week or two. So lots of things to come.
And where can people find more information about
you?
We
are at 11 Fritz Lane. So the old Flo Saunders building, A1 signs, lock and key Fritz Lane. That's where we are. 814-7899 is the phone number for the constituency office, and FNM Centerville 242@gmail.com is my email address.
Okay. Darvin Russell, thank you very much. Appreciate you being here on the other side of the table today.
Absolutely.
But all the best to you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Have a great morning, everybody.
Chester Robards, thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
I'll see you next week. And I'll be back tomorrow morning with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Everybody have a great day. Pick up today's NASA Guardian for the Guardian Business section for more in business news. And this portion of the show brought to you in part by Seafowl, growing wealth for future generations. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green coming up next.
Hey folks, thanks for your patience. We'll be taking off very shortly. You should be wheels up in about 40 minutes. And due to a bumpy ride, snacks and beverage service has been suspended. AC is giving us some trouble. Sorry folks. And Wi-Fi is out. And so is the entertainment. Yeah, I'm sorry about the smell, folks. We are aware.
I know.
Just one more quick note. We are going to have to deplane.
Come on! We're like the plane ride that isn't a nightmare. CG Atlantic Agents and Brokers. Good like that.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with Seafowl, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of Seafowl's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at seafowl.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. Seafowl, growing wealth for future generations.
Seafowl is a proud sponsor of Team Bahamas for the 2026 Carifta Games.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
You never really forget your first.
first kiss, first ball, first time voting. Get out to vote. Your vote, your voice. Don't let the line scare you. This April 18th, your voter's card is your entry to our free Get Out to Vote concert featuring incredible acts like Ding Dong, Young Bretta, Nige Boy, Wendy, Bahamian Trey, Sweet Emily, Mr. Vegas, and so much more at the National Stadium. Gates open 6 p.m. Get out to vote, babe!
At the heart of every great meal is a simple yet powerful idea: quality. At Del Monte, we are committed to cultivating quality, growing the freshest, most nutritious vegetables, fruits, and tomatoes for your family. With non-GMO ingredients and BPA-free packaging, you can trust that every can is packed with goodness. So whether it's a quick snack or a hearty family dinner, Del Monte brings wholesome flavor to your table. Look for it in your favorite food store. Del Monte, fresh taste, smart choices. Distributed by Thompson Trading.
At Shield Insurance, we protect what matters most to you and your family. With over 10 years of trusted service, we offer coverage for your motor, home, marine, construction, business, liability, health, and life needs. Our dedicated team is with you every step of the way, ensuring a smooth, stress-free experience. Don't take a chance. Put it in our hands. For more information, contact us at 356-7202 for our Nassau office and 352-5945 for our Freeport office.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9.